What's up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Let's do it. Let me get my camera together. How everybody doing out there, man? It's Saturday. You know, it's the Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom to all y'all that's out there that know what it's about. I don't know what just happened. Sound like my sound clicked down? I guess if I'm too loud, it'll click out automatically. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I need to move my mic up some. But it's the first time I've been on here in a while. A long while, actually. Like almost a month. Yeah, let's get into this video, man. It's called Arrest Cam. I don't know who they are, but I happen to go on YouTube and see it. So let's get into this video, man. Let's have a good laugh, have a good reaction to it, see what's really jumping. Let's go.
Be sure to subscribe so to miss out on future videos.
It's
Officers
Arrest
responded to a
Cam.
call in reference to a 32-year-old female causing a disturbance at a local business.
Hello.
Hi.
What's going on?
He came in and purchased, we sell Delta 8 products here. He came in and purchased some Delta 8 flour. He's not happy with it. We don't do refunds or returns on something you've already consumed, even if you've only consumed part of it. He didn't like the effects. I can return it. I was going to offer him a discount, but before I could get to that, he told me he was going to flip my whole store upside down, went on and on about this whole tire, about how we owe him.
Okay.
And then said he was licensed to kill. He didn't care what happened to him. Weapons, he didn't threaten me. Other than that, he didn't come near me.
And you want them trespass from the store?
Take him leave. Just take him away.
Okay. Well, I mean, are you wanting him trespass from the store?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, boss. Hey, you want to talk to me? Hey.
Are you checking name?
What's your name, man?
Of course, go right ahead.
Are you having some bad reaction to what was sold to you?
His last name, he has
You need an ambulance?
Delta, India, Alpha, Zulu.
You sure you don't want to go to the hospital and get checked out?
Versus Antonio, Alpha, November Tango.
What's going on then?
November, Ida, Ocean. Middle
That
State,
was
Jesus,
in that green
Delta,
container,
Echo,
whatever that was.
Jesus, Juliet.
That
Check.
was sold to me. I had
Whoa.
that reaction.
Hispanic male, 613 of 96.
As in, like, does it make you feel sick? Yeah? Why don't we get an ambulance to check you out then? Okay?
Oh, man.
Is this your ID up here, boss?
License 10.
Is this all your cards and stuff that
Don't
are out
sound
here?
too good, yo. This dude is sitting on the floor, man. Like, he literally sitting on the floor like he that high. That's crazy.
Are you Rebecca?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was a dude.
Just want to confirm that was 346?
All right. I'm going to put your stuff back in your wallet. We're going to get an ambulance up here and check you out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
544 headquarters. Can you have lead control?
Get your hand out the way.
22. Scene secure.
Gee.
Adult female, wake and breathing. Bad reaction to some Delta products.
So I told the police up here to have him trespass and stuff like that, but now he's saying that he's having a bad reaction from some flour.
1725.
Bought some Delta products, consumed it, having bad reaction. So we're gonna have lead control come up.
Sorry, yo.
You want to step outside where you can get some fresh air? Hang out there. Let me get. Okay. Let's get him outside. I'm gonna put all this stuff back in his wallet. Can you step up on your own?
I don't know what's going on with dude.
Okay. Yeah. Come on.
But I know he tripping.
Can you stand?
If you're having that much trouble, man, just stay there.
Okay.
This is all his stuff.
Yeah.
Check 2.
All right, guys, ID.
All right.
See how I put the
What was he
gangster
doing?
on?
Why are we here?
Huh?
Why are we here? What was going on?
Well, it started out that he was unhappy with the Delta 8 that I was selling him. It wasn't working for him at all.
Okay.
He
And
mad.
I told him, I was like, I was going to tell him I can't do a return or anything like that, but I could give him a discount if he
Tell
wanted
him
to try.
really why.
I
Why?
am telling them
Look.
why. I didn't get a chance
Please
to tell
tell
you.
him.
All of a sudden, you're fine. You can stand up.
Nah. Tell him the real reason.
You
I
said it
came
was-
in here.
Well, let me get this straight. I asked her. Let me tell her.
No.
Hey,
Wait,
Oh,
wait,
man.
We're gonna have to get him out of here. I'm trying to hear the story from her
If
first.
you don't even want to know.
Here we go. This is where everything goes left. This is where it goes down. It's gonna be all bad here in a second.
How?
Well, I want to hear the story. Then I can only hear one person at a time, right? I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you.
He ain't gonna.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Get out because you're obviously fine now.
Don't even touch.
You're obviously fine now.
Let's go.
Walk outside. Come on.
At the
Let's
end
go.
of the day, PNC for life.
Yeah, she said he wants some trespass.
My necklace broke as soon as the guy that entered here. My
What is that? That's a girl that's trying to be a guy. Look like, I don't know if there's scars on his chest or what, but this is weird.
necklace broke.
Then he's gonna go to jail.
Let's go outside. Come on, Rebecca. Let's go.
My necklace broke.
You're gonna end up going to jail. Come on.
Yeah.
Yep. Here we go, y'all. Here we go.
Get my bitch ass nigga.
All right, let's go. Grab him.
Yep. Taser. He farted.
Roll over.
Roll over.
Roll over.
He farted. I gotta go back to that, y'all. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. Oh, he cold cut a fart. It's so crazy.
Bitch ass nigga.
All right, let's go. Grab him. Now you're going to
Roll over.
roll over.
Roll over.
You know it stinks. That fart from this person, that stunk. That's bad. This used to be a woman. They've had their breasts removed. And they're walking around with no shirt on in the smoke shop, smoking K12, I guess. Potpourri or whatever that stuff is.
Roll over. You're gonna get it again.
At the end of the day. At the end
Roll
of the
over.
day.
Roll over.
Roll over. You're gonna get it again.
It's okay.
Roll over.
Roll over.
3 and 5 are clear at this
You're gonna get it again.
3 and 5 are
It's
clear.
okay.
1730.
Condition.
Give me your trust.
Well, that's a bad situation.
See what your actions caused, man? We didn't want to go this route.
It's okay.
All right. Stand up.
That laugh was kind of eerie. And they extra dark skinned it. Like, I don't know if it's the camera or they skin color, but they look black like leather. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but they chocolate.
those.
Yeah.
Leaning against the car. Let me check the source of it. What's your name, partner?
Why am I in handcuffs?
At this point, you're going to jail.
Oh God, why?
You think the nurse at the jail is going to need med clearance? I mean, because they're saying he's good.
He's fine.
For charting, we only do one, but like we got 7 training rooms,
I don't know, man.
I thought it was
Do
gonna be
they
worse.
they don't make you take medical clearance for tasing.
I don't like ESO, but we'll say
I don't have.
My thing is with him digesting whatever he digests.
What the hell did I digest?
Take it for clearance then. That's probably because you don't want to go to the jail and then make them make you leave and stuff like that. So just go ahead and get the clearance real quick on the way up LMH. And, you shouldn't be in there very long. I'm gonna go in there and once you get going, I'm gonna see if they got. I mean, we have our cameras, but I'm gonna see if they got footage in there as well that we can get.
I need all her 43 and
Yeah, I'll get all that.
The white Honda Accord,
Have a seat.
28, Bravo, Golf, 72, Yankee Lima,
up in there. Have a seat.
Shane 51 and 1741.
My camera's
Michael,
messed
what's your
up.
date of birth? Okay. Where do you live? Okay.
Too many people on the internet, I guess.
That's female.
No, it's not. It is.
One of you gentlemen would like to sign that you're taking Rebecca off.
Yeah, that's female.
It is. Dang, I got that wrong.
In the end, Rebecca was charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, trespassing, and resisting or obstructing without violence. As part of a plea deal, she pled no contest to trespassing and resisting without violence and was adjudicated guilty. Thanks to a prior arrest that included aggravated assault with a firearm and discharging a firearm in public, she was sentenced to 228 days in jail. If you like this video and want to see more like it, subscribe to Arrest Cam. As always, thanks for watching.
All right, man, we're gonna jump into something else, man. I don't know, but I see that my dude at Lockdown 23-1 got a new episode. We're gonna see what he's talking about. I like this dude's channel. He has a real good channel. I need to go check him out. It's Lockdown 23-1. This is his video, not my video, but we're gonna get into it instantly.
Welcome back, everybody, to another prison reality check episode of
Lockdown
23-1.
Yo, I watch these. Well, I listen to these at work. They're pretty cool.
That's right, prison reality check it is. Today I got a lineup of recent stories on prison homicides. Inmates losing their life by other inmates, not to mention correctional staff. Evil comes in many shapes and forms, ladies and gentlemen, and sometimes they're wearing a badge. Now, with all that being said, let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is absolutely where you need to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my beautifully assorted playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. So like I just said in the intro, you know, sometimes even when the
frame rates is dropping. So I'm looking at, like, I don't know, ending it, watching it. I don't know what it's going to be like when you get it, but it's real choppy on my end right now, so I apologize.
Fools can come around wearing badges. And that's exactly the case with the first story I'm bringing your way today. Traveling all the way down to Texas. It says here, one of 2 former corrections officers charged in the death of an inmate at the Clements unit was ordered to smoke him out. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a smoke session unlike anything I've ever brought to the channel. Very unfortunate situation, and all could have been easily avoided. But it continues saying, according to the arrest reports, 39-year-old Corey Sean Bavalsat, hopefully I pronounced that right, who was being held in a high-security building, lit his mattress on fire just before 1 a.m. Sunday, causing his cell to fill with smoke. And ladies and gentlemen, I've been in a cell filled with smoke, and I'm here to tell you, I almost died. I'm not even playing. That thing gets a pumping quick. If they didn't open those cell doors, man, I wouldn't be here today. But once again, like I just said, this could have all been easily avoided. First off, he should never have lit his mattress on fire. But you gotta understand, most inmates, when they do these type of activities, it's because, you know, they're either bored or they're mad at someone or something going on, and, you know, they might just want some activity, or they want to get
Family
the hell out of
going
the cell,
crazy.
you know. Usually when a fire's jumping off, you know, the COs get the inmates out immediately. And that's probably what he was thinking. Like, they're gonna open the door, I'm gonna get a little activity, get up out this tank. Maybe get moved to a better lockdown unit. I don't know. Maybe he was about to get a cellmate that he didn't want. He's in a high-level security block. I don't know the situation, but one thing's for sure, he lit his mattress on fire. And that puppy was smoking like a Chattanooga train set. Keep in mind, it was around 1 a.m. on Sunday. And when Correctional Officer West was notified, she allowed the food tray slot to be open in an attempt to let the smoke clear. Shows that she's worried about him a little bit, right? He needs to air that thing out. And you know who else should be caring about this situation even more than her? The LT, the lieutenant, right? Think again. It says that when she told Lieutenant William Romero, she was then ordered to shut it and allow the inmate to get smoked out. Romero also said he started the fire. He can deal with it. And that right there is number 2. Easily avoidable death. He could just pop the cell door, got him out of there, you know, put him in a green suit, butt naked in a dry cell for a month. Maybe he learned his lesson like that. But no, he'd rather him sitting there and engulf smoke until he's dead. Pretty much, because anybody, especially an LT, knows exactly what happens when smoke gets a pumping in a cell. Homeboy should get life in prison. I don't care what the situation is. But the correctional officer did as she was ordered and closed the food tray. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, would have caused me to lose my job, because I wouldn't have closed that. I would have actually opened up the cell door. Fire me, bro. I don't care. I'm not going to let this dude die. Unfortunately, though, Wes, like I said, closed the food tray and went on with her routine until 2:30 a.m. So that means that mattress been burning in the cell for an hour and a half. And look, those mattresses, they're covered with like plastic and whatever the hell they're, you know, filled with. I've seen them burn, and they burn like a damn oil rig. Pure black treacherous smoke. But she went on with the routine of work until 2:30 a.m. when she was called back to the cell for more smoke building up inside. West then allowed the food tray slot to remain open this time. She probably couldn't imagine no one was there fixing the situation yet. The prisons I've seen, if there's a fire in your cell, man, they're calling the goon squad, LT, major, everyone. Shit, the warden might even pop up to find out who he's gonna be sending to the hole for the next 20 years. Like I said, West allowed the food tray slot to remain open this time. But the smoke continued to build, and West continued to refuse the inmate's plea to let him out. So at that time, he was still alive, and she could have gotten him out. But she decided to again contact Romero, the lieutenant, who said,
See, this is why I like his channel, man. I don't know why my microphone keeps going down, guys. I apologize. But he has a good rapport, and he's like a nice reporter, and he's funny. That's why I like listening to his channel. But he always has good videos.
let some of the smoke clear, then close the tray slot. The smoke continued to get worse, and at approximately 2:57 a.m., just a little over 10 minutes after the inmate was begging to be released from the cell, the inmate was then unresponsive. The smoke was so thick security staff could not see inside the cell. The cell door was not open for another 21 minutes when the inmate was found laying on the cell floor and not breathing. Romero did not notify his chain of command until that point. And his chain of command, like I said, would probably be the major, or maybe it's captain and then goes a major, I can't remember, and then, the warden. But the LT sees over the sergeants, corporals, the regular COs, all that. Huge amount of power, and by him not reporting this situation, man, he is completely responsible. It continues saying at 3:32 a.m., Potter County Fire Rescue was sent to the prison for someone with chest pains, according to the custodial death report filed with the Attorney General's office. Be careful, all you correctional officers. This lady got lucky. She ain't get charged for the death, but in many states, if I were to guess, she definitely would have. Just because it's a direct order doesn't mean you gotta do it. But it continues saying that the inmate was pronounced dead at 4:09 a.m. During questioning, Wes admitted that she knew Romero's orders were unethical, and she knew that the inmate could not survive being kept in a smoke-filled cell. She also admitted that she knew the proper thing to do was contact the on-duty
But she
captain
didn't
of
do it.
corrections, or make a command decision to remove the inmate from his cell. She was aware of her conduct but disregarded a substantial and unjustifiable risk to the inmate's life. Such risk was a gross deviation from the standard of care that an ordinary person would exercise under all circumstances as viewed from her perspective. said the arrest report. West is charged with manslaughter. Romero is charged with criminal negligence homicide. Wow, she did get charged. I thought I read that she didn't. Maybe it was just the homicide part. That makes me feel a little bit better though, because just like she said, she knew that the inmate wasn't going to live in that cell with all that smoke. She could have easily let him out. Tough decision. Unfortunately, she made the wrong one. But that's about the bulk of it, ladies and gentlemen. I do love to see correctional staff being held accountable for their misconduct.
Yes, sir.
And of course, my condolences go out to this inmate's family and friends. I don't know nothing about him or his past crimes, but what's right is right. If a cell's on
And what's wrong is wrong.
fire, they need to be taken out. Whether they started it or not, it doesn't matter. They could be having mental issues. But moving right along with the next story, we're going to be traveling down to North Carolina. It says the State Bureau of Investigations is leading the investigation after a Green Correctional Institution inmate died on Sunday, October 5th. Wilbert Baldwin, 41, was charged with the murder Tuesday in the death of Ernest Nichols, 60. On October 5th, deputies responded to the Murray prison in reference to a fatal assault on an inmate. The sheriff's office said that Nichols was located unresponsive in his dormitory, ladies and gentlemen. Let me break that down for you really quick. There's two types of living in prison for the most part. You got cell living, which is for like higher level offenders, and you're usually housed with one other cellmate. But in a dorm, it's like a big hangar with no walls, just filled and lined with bunks. So that means everybody in that dorm, which is probably over 100 people, watched that 60-year-old man get beat to death. And guess what? Ain't nobody did nothing to stop it. A lot of people probably thought it was just going to be a normal fight, but you know, when you're 60, especially getting into it with a young buck, man, that skull becomes real fragile. It continues saying that staff attempted life-saving measures. He was pronounced dead at 7:22 a.m. Greene County deputies secured the scene, and the sheriff contacted the State Bureau of Investigation. Interviews and physical evidence led to a warrant being drawn for Baldwin's arrest. Baldwin was released back to the DAC staff to finish the remainder of his sentence, which records indicate is projected to end April 24th, 2026. Man, oh man, dude was about to go home, and now he's got to face a murder charge, man. If I were to guess, homeboy probably didn't mean to do it. Probably sitting in that cell sick right now, but maybe he did, because I forgot to mention that Mr. Nichols, 60 years old, was convicted of statutory rape in 2011 for an incident in Mecklenburg County. So
Yeah, he probably did something to do. Sometimes they do people who be in there for graping people, man. They get them.
I said, maybe it was accidental or maybe it wasn't. Maybe he wanted to take that guy's life because of his past crimes. I don't know. But still, even with knowing what kind of crimes he had in the past, if I were to bet it all, that inmate didn't mean to kill dude. Like I said, he was getting out in 2026, and this is North Carolina where the politics ain't that strong. It wasn't probably a planned hit like in many other states, you know, but maybe it was. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Either way, it doesn't matter. Look, 60 years old or not, you could get beat to death at any given time in prison. All right, moving right along, you're going to have to pump up your raft for this one because we're traveling across that long pond all the way to the UK. It says video release shows 2 UK prisoners breaking into Giant Smiles moments before they viciously beat a convicted sex offender to death in his cell. Footage shows a shirtless Smith, 19, and a fellow prisoner, Robinson, 21, creeping down a hallway of His Majesty's prison. Fosse Way in Gloucestershire? Ah, man, I know I butchered that one. I don't know how to pronounce half these Shire County names, man. Shaw, Sheer. However you want to say it, man. All I know is Frodo Baggins. And he grew up in the fucking Shire, man. It's all the same. But it says that these 2 inmates were creeping down a hallway of His Majesty's prison, flashing smiles as they creep towards Abdullah Moran's cell. Man, oh man, homeboy don't know what was coming his way. They emerged only 37 seconds later, with the warden soon finding the inmate beaten unconscious inside. And the inmate, the sex offender who lost his life, was only serving a 35-week sentence. That dude probably thought for sure he was going to make it out alive. It says that the inmate had asked to be moved to a new cell shortly before the attack, so if I were to guess, he knew it was coming. Why else would he be asked to be moved right before it happened? And another inmate said that the accused had been terrorizing this inmate for days. Smith, who was serving time for weapons charge at the time of the attack, was found guilty of murder on Thursday. Wow. He was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 17.5 years served. Robinson was cleared of murder but found guilty of manslaughter. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison. A third defendant, Sean Kiram,
He looked
38,
weird.
was found not guilty of murder and manslaughter. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like 3 individuals got hemmed up. One of them didn't have nothing to do with anything, but he still had to go through the court process. Even though he was found not guilty for manslaughter and killing the dude, it doesn't matter. He was probably going through a very strenuous mental situation, knowing that he's stuck there, man, and he didn't do nothing. So be careful with the people that you hang around in prison. You can pay the price with them. But the other 2 guys, man, if I were to guess, you know, they probably didn't mean to kill that dude either. They didn't have no lifelong sentences, you know, but this is a prime example. You pick on someone enough, or you hit them enough, man, they'll probably eventually just die. And you're going to be looking stupid in the courtroom being charged for it. Whole damn life down the pipe. But that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed these 3 stories today. And believe it or not, I got about 6 or 7 others. It seems like inmates are dropping like flies these days, man. The price of life behind bars is very cheap, if not free. Cheap. And just keep this in mind. There's hardly, if I were to guess, anybody bringing these stories to your attention. You know, this is the reality of prison, and everybody needs to know what they're going to be getting yourself into. This channel gives you the most realistic and authentic view of prison, guaranteed. So if you're new to the channel and enjoyed, you better hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. And as always, more importantly than anything, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.
This is the church.
All right, we're gonna get into my homeboy Jay Williams from Global Impact. He brings all the gospel, Christian, religious, spiritual, good, bad, and ugly. He puts a lot of light on the bad stuff, but he also does a good word on Saturdays. I believe it's on Saturdays, because he is a 7-day Adventist, and they go to church. They have the Shabbat on Saturday, the day that it's supposed to be. The Sabbath is on Saturday. Shabbat and Sabbath is the same word. Yeah, so we're going to get into this video with him and see what he's talking about. I listen to him a lot at work too. A little bit for the information, a lot for the hilarity, because he's funny.
God and cry. Never mind. See you in about 30 seconds. Yo. Welcome back to another episode of Global Impact. I'm your host, Jay Wills. We about to jump right into this. Shout out to Dawson Speaks TV for this doggone video.
Crazy video.
Yeah, let's go.
Now, this story comes out of Florida, Tallahassee, Florida. Terrence Booker, 40 years old, was a minister at Life Changers Church of God in Christ Incorporated. Take a breath. Man. Kojic, here we go again. Somebody, anybody, tell me what's going on with some of these leaders in the Kojic church.
Oh, my.
Now, Terrence Booker, 40 years old, was an elder and youth director / pastor at Life Changers Church of God in Christ in Tallahassee, Florida, where he loved to fellowship with his church family. Elder Terrence Booker is also a gifted singer who could often be seen singing weekly at his church and also with the popular choir here in Florida. Not only was he active in his church, he was also employed with the school in his area where he ran a day program for the youngins. Elder Terrence Booker also could be seen.
Come on now, dog.
What?
Come on, man.
Boy, I know you lying.
On social media, vlogging about his life, his duties at church, and showing off his, very unique style of dressing. My Lord, those Kojic men. I believe if Bishop Patrick Wooden was here, he'd say that the Kojic men are strong men of God.
Well. Bishop Wooden would say that about the men in his church. I'd say that. He'll say that about the men in the upper room. Now, the rest of them, I don't know.
Hour of strength, mighty men of valor, a marker of masculinity. Let me go on. Now, everyone at his church, the school he worked at, and many in the community and online loved Terrence Booker, and I'm sure they still do. And many of them were especially appreciative that he wanted to give back and help the youth in his church and in the community which is commendable. Now, everything appeared to be going well for Elder Terrence Booker at his church, on his job, and in his personal life. Well, that was until this happened. The Leon County Sheriff's Office said that Elder Terrence Booker, 40 years old, turned himself in on September 23, 2025 after a thorough investigation and was being held at the Leon County Detention Facility. Elder Terrence Booker has been charged with having inappropriate interaction with youngins at his church.
What are we doing, bro? No, I want to know. What are we doing, bro? What exactly are we doing, bro?
You know...
Deputies identified at least 4 victims according to court records. It remains unclear if there are more, but Leon County Sheriff's Office spokesperson said that the case remains an open and active investigation. Well, Dawson, how did they find out about this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Elder Terrence Booker was first investigated by the Florida Department of Children and Families in 2020. 3 youngins, male church members, accused him of having inappropriate interactions with them, records show. That case was suspended because of inconsistencies and contradictions in the victims' interviews. The case...
Man, just look at dude. That's crazy. Like, sometimes you can look at people, man. Sometimes you gotta look in people's eyes and look at them. I don't know, man. This is crazy. This is just weird, man. This is weird. This is the problem with... I don't know. I don't know what the problem is.
Case resumed after new allegations involving another youngin was brought to Leon County Sheriff's Office attention on July 17, 2025, prompting the Criminal Investigations Bureau to reopen the case. Now listen to this. On September 3rd, 2025, the latest victim to come forward called Leon County Sheriff's Office after hearing about Elder Booker's first arrest, saying he had information that could assist with the ongoing investigation, the agency said. The victim recounted several occasions when Elder Booker had inappropriate interactions with him, court records show, adding that Elder Booker would ask to cuddle with him and would frequently touch him. The victim said that it would mostly occur at his house.
Wow.
He then went on to say that Elder Terrence Booker had inappropriate interactions whenever he was around him, at church or in a car with him. Man.
Do y'all see why I say the things that I say when it comes to these effeminate men in the church?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, say
Now,
that.
before I go on, let me say that the Leon County Sheriff's Office said that they now have found reasons in both cases, the 2020 case as well as the 2025 case, to arrest and charge Elder Terrence Booker. However, these are all allegations, and Elder Terrence Booker will have his day in court again, and I'll tell you all about that later. But before I go on, somebody, anybody, tell me what's going on in the Lord's church. Because stories like this one are coming out every day, several times a day.
Why?
And I don't even report them. They're out there. And people wonder, well, why people don't come to church? Or everybody going to hell? No. People.
See, it's hard to convince somebody, tell somebody, or compel somebody to believe in something positive when it's so much negativity, because negativity has a weight. People will probably won't agree with it, but negativity has a heavier weight than positivity. It's easier to be negative and to be in that space or spread negativity than positivity, because positivity forces you to feel a way that you're not feeling if you're so used to being negative. Negativity hates the feeling of positivity, just like positivity hates the feeling of negativity. But for some reason, that's what happens. So people tend to hold on to the negative things that they've heard, that they believe, or that they thought, or what they trust. And it's not always right. And the messed up part is people who want to compel or witness about the church find themselves in an uphill battle against a lot of truths and a lot of ugliness. And the thing about the truth and the ugliness, they go together so well that wall is usually kind of wide and kind of high and almost impenetrable, even though we have the word of Christ, word of God, and the example of Christ and the Bible and the experience of a relationship with God. That's still sometimes, not that it's not enough, but it can not be enough for somebody that is so dead set in a certain way. And then this is the part or you have to understand that you might have to knock the dust off your feet and leave that person alone and allow the Holy Father to do it himself. But the vast majority is that's the fight, is cases like this and situations like this and incidences. Because it happens in one church or two churches or 10 churches doesn't mean it happens in every church. But when somebody wants to make an excuse of why they don't do something, they'll take the small thing and make it a great thing. And that great thing will be the reason why they don't do the very thing that they need to do or want to do. They'll allow the small things to be greater than the right thing, if that makes any sense. They would rather say, oh, this pastor, this person did this in 1926, or I thought it said this, but it said that in 1928, but it's 2025. And those two reasons are why you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, but you're still feeling like you don't want to live or whatever, a holy and acceptable life unto God. But all the little things that happen in the Lord's church, you allow that to keep you out, knowing that that's not the reason or why you should stay out of the Lord's church. So anyway, let's get back to this video. That's my little 2 cents.
People are tired of the mess that comes out of the church. Why do you want your children to go when there's several stories like this you can see in your own town? And don't blame vloggers. We didn't create the stories.
Hello.
Call your local news station, pal. Man, I wish I could cuss on YouTube. Let me go on, especially when it comes to these youngins. But to you individuals in and out of religious institutions that do stuff like this, please leave these youngins alone. Go get a grown man. Go get a grown woman.
Yeah.
But most of y'all want men. Go get a grown man. Or hell, get both. Oh, no. Oh.
Come on now, dog.
He ain't playing.
Come on, man.
I cannot, bro. look at this. Look at this, man. What you trying out for the motherboard?
Oh, Dawson, well, we don't want that spirit in the church. We're going to bring them to the altar and we're going to get them delivered. Okay, do what you got to do. But can you also have an altar call for the individuals who are having inappropriate interactions with youngins?
Hello.
Where are the prophets and prophetess for that line?
Yeah. Ooh, say that. Say that, Dawson. And they quiet. Crazy.
Thing else, when they want money, I've never heard of a prophet or a prophetess calling out that mess in any of their conferences or revivals.
They ain't gonna do it because all of them
in it. Yeah, say it.
Like I've been trying to say. All these prophets and apostles, all these fake people, all these doggone bishops and all that carrying on.
Too many of them.
All of them is effeminate. All of them dibble and dabble this way.
Libble and labble and dibble and dabble.
I'd say about 80% of them.
Close to all.
You're going to keep having this problem. It's only going to get worse. And these prophets can't see this.
That's what the word of God say.
And they ain't going to speak out against it because they dibbling and dabbling.
Dabbling and dibbling.
Right.
And what really gets me is that many of you outspoken leaders in the Kojic church, you know who you are. You have nothing else better to do but to talk on everything and everybody else except for the mess that goes on in your denomination. Now, I think we need to hear a word from Elder Terrence Booker. As a matter of fact, I think it's apropos, and it's going to give me a chance to calm down for a minute. So I'm going to let you all watch this video, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And you all know me. I'm Dawson,
and I won't go back.
This is Life Changers Youth Department, and I'm Elder Booker, and today we did something awesome. We went out to our community and sung carols, and we gave our treat bags to our homeless. We just want to show our young people how to give back and to be a part of this great community of ours, and just showing love and having the love of Christ through us. So before we even go further, I just have to give a shout out to Secretary Gerald Mandrell and co-pastor, district missionary Judy Mandrell. Thank you for allowing me to be the leader of these great young people. We teach them how to be leaders.
just into our newsroom, a local church youth director and school employee arrested. The Leon County Sheriff's Office says Terrence Booker, who is a member of the church, LCSO says they previously investigated him in 2020 for a similar claim at the same church, but they didn't find probable cause back then. Now they say they've found reason in both cases to arrest and charge Booker. Booker also works at W.T. Moore. He's listed as the assistant director of their extended day program.
All right, y'all, let's go
Wow.
in. Now, on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025, Elder Terrence Booker entered a not guilty plea on several charges. He did not appear in court in person or by Zoom. Elder Terrence Booker is due back in court next year, January 2026. Now, Elder Booker said he's not guilty, and we'll just have to see what happens in court. In January 2026, I'll be following the story. Now, Life Changers Church of God in Christ co-pastor, I don't know why the senior pastor didn't release a statement, but never.
Is that a donkey on his doggone jacket?
That's what it looked like.
It looked like one. Might as well be one.
Let me go on. The co-pastor, Pastor Judy Mandrell, previously told reporters that the church is deeply saddened and heartbroken by these serious allegations. She went on to say that Elder Terrence Booker was immediately suspended from all church duties, and also he's no longer working at the school. Now, I'm almost done, you all, but I have to say this. In the last 2 months, the Kojic Church has really been showing out. You all remember the story I did on the so-called Kojic Bishop? Bishop Aloysius Marcus Albritton. He preaches up there at a Kojic Church in Virginia Beach, Virginia. He was caught in a bathroom filming people. Come on, y'all. And he's a part of the Kojic Church. He's going in the men's room filming, and he's been arrested several times for this. And this man had a wife at one time. And one of her friends or someone who knows her reached out and said that they're not together and she's moved on with her life. And I said, thank God. Because what woman, especially a woman of God, who wants to deal with that? While you're at home alone, this dude is in the restroom looking for bones.
Looking for bones.
We can't forget about the story a couple weeks ago about the Kojic pastor, Pastor Aaron Williams, who was caught in a car with his girlfriend at a park in the backseat of a vehicle in Picnic Area 1 while his wife, my God, was at the church at a women's retreat. Come on, y'all. This is coming out of the Kojic Church. And now we have this story coming out of Tallahassee, Florida.
Mercy.
With an elder in the Kojic Church. Now, you all keep in mind that the Leon County Sheriff's Office said that this is still an open and active investigation. And I hope that when it's all said and done, justice is served in this case.
FBI, open up!
Wow. It's a lot going on there, bud. It's a lot going on there, bud. A whole lot of nothing. You know? A whole lot of nothing. But sometimes you never know. You know? But I'm going to get off here because it's glitching and it's not stopped. I keep getting alerts. So this is going to be the longest, glitchiest show ever. So I'm going to put y'all out on a good note. I'm going to add a song. I got some new music. Let me see. Let's see what I got.
for me. I'm sorry you found me. I'm sorry you found me.